Hey guys, it's Chris from Enola Gay, and it's time for Valken Debrief Live.
Welcome to the most interactive airsoft show on the interwebs. It's the Valken Debrief Airsoft live show. Each and every episode is sponsored by the fine folks at Enola Gay. Also, don't forget to sign up for the largest growing airsoft community in the world, known as the Valken Alliance. You can link up with other Alliance members throughout your region on our Facebook groups by just searching the Valken Alliance. We also offer Alliance sponsorships for qualified airsoft teams. And the Valken Debrief also shares local and national airsoft events so you don't miss out what's going on in your region. We also give away some sweet products from time to time, so the more you interact, the greater the chance you could win. And we work hard to bring you new and exciting special guests during each episode. You can also find us at many airsoft events throughout the world. And if you miss any of our live casts, you can always catch the rewind on our YouTube channel or SoundCloud. So sit back and get ready for your Valken Debrief.
Warning, the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and/or inappropriate for immature airsoft players. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences with common sense only.
Hey, we are live.
Is this our new theme song?
I
get down with it. Maybe a little twerking. Oh, you can't see me from the waist down. I can't see me from the waist down.
Debrief Airsoft Live Show episode number.
Oh God, I don't even know. We're like 107 right now.
We are 107.
The teleprompter's not up. I'm lost without my teleprompter. I don't know what to do.
Kaiju, the Supreme Commander of the Valken Alliance, and this is Peltast, my Christmas elf.
I am now Santa of the bearded something fuzzy face.
I need more Christmases.
I'm Santa Baby Shower. I guess that's what I'd be.
I'm more Christmases.
Delivering all the BB goodness to all my good boys and girls. Were you naughty airsofters or were you good airsofters? Who knows? Tell me. Put it in the comments right down below here.
I know, right? So, all right. So,
we got a good one today. I'm excited.
We do.
I need this. I need a little broadcasting time to
I
loosen
know,
myself
right?
up right now. You know
So
what I'm saying?
we want to give a big shout out to our sponsor.
Are we still sponsored?
Yes, we're still sponsored.
Still. I'm
Yes.
shocked. They're still with us. Amazing.
Yep. Enola Gay.
Enola Gay. They make good stuff, don't they?
Oh, of course they do.
Do they make things that go boom?
They do.
Do they make things that go smoky, smoky, smoky?
They do.
Do they make things that make you warm in the wintertime?
They do.
Do they make cool things for the summer like this? Well, not this shirt, but I was referring to a t-shirt.
Yeah, they make shirts.
They make shirts.
They make gloves.
Oh, that's right. They make gloves. I forgot. Is there anything else I'm missing?
Backpacks.
Bags. Do they have any like tactical gear yet? I heard
No,
that
not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Okay, but maybe that's coming. I don't know.
Yep.
Anything's possible.
Exactly.
Also, we
right.
got to plug the pyramid scheme, don't we?
Oh, yeah, the Valken Alliance.
Valken Alliance, best pyramid scheme in airsoft. If you're
It
not
is.
part of this pyramid scheme and you don't have downstream set up, you're not cool. Sorry.
Yeah,
You're on the outside.
it's okay. Head on over to ValkenAlliance.com and sign up. All
Takes
we're
2
doing
minutes.
is just trying to connect folks in your area, in your region, to get out and play airsoft. And tonight's region that we are featuring is...
Are we Western Europe? Whoa, I didn't know we had a Western Europe region.
Yes,
Did
we do have a Western Europe region.
Did we start that for our guest? Are we kickstarting the Western Europe, or has that been there the whole time?
No, it's
okay, cool.
It's been there. It's been there.
Okay.
Exactly. So, who's our overachiever of the night?
That would be Mr. Collier. Forgive me, Cody Collier. Forgive me for not pronouncing that right if I didn't get it right. But overachiever. High five to the graphics. High five to you. Good job. Thank you for showing up.
Heck yeah, commenting first.
And remember, even a short comment, if it's first, that's all that matters. Win by an inch, win by a mile. Doesn't matter. Just win.
Exactly. So don't forget, we do have the hotline, 856-975-0650. If you would like to leave a voice message,
no one will pick it up
tell
right now.
Peltast how awesome he is,
Or
how
not.
majestic his beard is.
I even trimmed it down for you guys. If you guys don't notice, I am in pre-Christmas beauty right now. I went below what I normally am.
Yeah, and you can leave a message. Tell us which guest you would like to see next, any topics you would like us to cover.
If you got ideas for the show, we need them because we're out of them. That's all we got right now.
But we do have a voicemail, so let's go ahead and play that voicemail.
Is it?
Just listen to the voicemail. Stop
well,
guessing.
I like guessing. It's fine.
You won't guess this one.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
Ah, gosh, dang it. I was really hoping I could get on the show, and I really wanted to be the winner of the Kilo Glove, and I was looking forward to talking to my best friend, A-Train, from YouTube. I guess I'll just try back. Thanks. Bye.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that was somebody actually asking for A-Train on the voicemail.
Is he on the show? I mean, like, do we know an A-Train? Is he a friend of the show or something? Is that important? Someone we should know.
He's actually Uncle A-Train to us.
He's Uncle A-Train?
Yes.
I thought he'd be like cousin
big,
A-Train.
Big Papa A-Train.
Well, yeah, it's like a sister show, so we're cousins, right?
Oh,
you know what I'm
called
saying?
it a sister show?
I did. I called it the sister show. I did.
You better be careful. 'Cause, it's like Beetlejuice. You say A-Train one too many times.
Does he just appear out of nowhere?
He just appears out of nowhere. Oh.
So I've said it twice. If I say it a third time, what is it? 5 or 3? I don't know. Is it like Candyman or Beetlejuice? I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. So
But awesome. Much love to our companion show on the Vulcan Action Sports Network. Is that what we're calling this?
Yes.
Yeah, the Vulcan Action Sport. I just invented that right now. Nope, copyright. Can't take it.
We're gonna take over Turner Network Television.
Yep.
So, who do we got in the chat?
Oh, we got some people. I just want to give a shout out, Ethan Vaughn. Thank you once again, loyal watcher.
But he wasn't first. Too bad.
He got beat. We got Kylie Hyatt from Arizona representing
nice.
Arizona Airsoft, and all you guys in there. By the way, if you have not checked out, he built a badass technical for Copperhead. It is rad. I didn't get a bunch of footage of it, but it is super cool. Check that out. And he's putting on some great games down in Arizona. If I remember right, I think either last week or the week before, they did their big Toys for Tots charity event. And
really?
They had a big pile of toys at the end of that game of Airsoft, like a trailer full of toys. It was rad.
Oh, wow.
So awesome. Great to see. Love that spirit down there. Who else is
We
here?
got Brian Burgess from Overwatch Tactics enjoying some after-hours eggnog.
Cookie, thank you so much for joining us. I know you're busy.
Ethan said tacos got him this time. McCaleb is actually in the house, and Mr. Guardian himself, he's actually
in Colorado.
He's in the Rockies region right now.
I know.
Same time zone.
Wait,
and
does
everything.
he need to switch over what region he's a member of since he's here, or does he have a transfer? Is a temporary transfer? How does that work?
We should have him come down
in studio.
In studio,
we could
because he was on the show previously.
Yep, but not in person.
But not in person.
We could have like a menage radio right here or something like that. 3 of us together.
We could. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Guardian? You down? You down for that? So, all right. So, we have a great guest. We're super excited that we're crossing the pond, and we're going to get to talk to Andy Self from the Chairsofter Show.
I have to say, I love that name, Chairsofter.
I know, right?
I mean, it's wonderful to put that right out there. It's like calling yourself the Keyboard Warrior Show. You know what I mean?
Know, right?
Just put it out there. No one can make fun of you. I'm here. I'm just having fun.
Exactly.
I gotta love it, dude.
He's got a podcast over there in the UK. You can find it. SoundCloud, iTunes, all over those podcasting.
Maybe Stitcher. I don't know what else. I'm trying to think of some other ones.
Yeah,
is there anything else?
There's
some
a lot.
other stuff.
I think he was like on episode like 89, 90, something like that. But we'll ask him. Him. He's been doing it a while, and so we always want to cross promote other podcasts, other shows. We love Guerrilla Airsoft Radio. That goes live every other week.
Sometimes you want a more formal accent. You just want to.
Yes.
You want to sound. You want to hear
We're
the
going
King's.
back to our roots.
You want to hear the King's
revolutionary
English.
roots.
King's English occasionally, and I just have to warn our guest if he's listening in. If you use the word colonies here, the chat's just going to lose their shit. So that's just one word that is unacceptable. Just so you know, this is the United States of America, not the colonies. Okay.
Oh, McCaleb just says, "Text me the address. I'm coming over with beer."
John, we are somewhere between Colorado. Pueblo.
Text him the company address.
Oh, I don't have his text number. I got to find him on Facebook.
Or you can message
I'm just gonna message her on Facebook. It's just so. Oh, never mind. Keep doing.
Just in case, we get a lot of people that can only watch the live show for a little bit. They come in, they bounce out. But if you ever want to catch the rewind, all you have to do is head on over to Valken Video on YouTube, and we've got all our debrief episodes on there under the Valken Debrief playlist. Also, if you're too busy to watch but you would like to listen, we also upload a podcast version on SoundCloud.
How many followers are you up to now? Like 80 on there? That's pretty rad. I'm pretty
know.
stoked.
I can actually look real quick.
Because we are thankful if you are definitely watching. If you're on SoundCloud, any other place that you're listening to this right now, we are grateful. We're thankful. Just if we forget to say thanks because we forget about it, it's just because we're bad at our job.
Yeah, we're 95 followers. We've had 1,200 plays in total so far, so which is quite a bit. Our top track is episode 99 with actually Guerrilla Airsoft Radio.
Oh, awesome.
It's actually tied for our number 104 with Too Tall Tom.
That was a good one. I really enjoyed that.
That was a good one.
By the way, if you guys haven't checked out Too Tall, he is just a legend around the sport. He's been around forever, does all kinds of weird stuff, does Utah Airsoft. I've never heard anybody else from Utah. So
Yep. So, we have the loadout battle tonight. We do.
I think you're going to have to read first because mine's like a Tchaikovsky novel. It's War and Peace Airsoft version.
Okay. So, the Defender, Solotron_Airsoft on Instagram. In real life, he is Josh Longton. He's wearing a basic Viper top, which he made and, with his hands, added the jute and camo netting himself. Backpack is a Mil-Spec Monkey Adapt Pack, LBX Combat Uniform, LBX Assaulter's Belt, Faro Concepts Fanny Pack, MC Kydex Pistol Holder. He runs the Glock 19 pistol, HSGI taco pouches, Agilite knee pads. Primary is King Arms VSS with a Redline M7 version 3 engine. And he's rocking them Solomon boots.
I'll tell you what, those knee pads look pretty chunky, man. Those look like real armor, almost. They're solid.
So I'm going to make the voting go live while you're reading off Mr. Alex.
It'll be a while. So, challenger this week, call sign frag, Mr. Alex Kapishk. If I didn't say that right, I'm sorry. I did the best I could. Loadout is a recce style of kit, trying to keep what I need to carry light rather than carrying a plate carrier. Backpack is the new LBX Titan light bag. Chest rig is the Haley Strategic DC3RX Heavy. Backpack has a low pro mag utility fast clip panel attaches, fast clip system to carry buddy mags and supplies. I also have a new longer MC Kydex Perry pipe on the side for my pyro. The pack has this grate and conforms to my back. Oh wow. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the highlights here, guys. This is wow. Second line is a Ronin TF belt loaded with MC Kydex Deagle holster as well as a Blue Force Gill utility pouch and Trex Arms dump pouch. BDUs are UF Pro Gear HT Combat Pants and HT Combat Shirt and Multicam. I can sweat through 3 blouses a day at the field. It's the only thing that'll keep me from being sweaty. That's the gist of it. I got sewn in knee pads in there. I have an underneath that are, as well as third soft pad inserts. Boots are Solomon Guardians. I got a scarred approved from my Axe Head LOL. To round out my kit is my Pride and Joy helmet setup. Teep Wendy carbon helmet with high impact cushion padding. To many head injuries, to risk no helmet, ha ha ha. Peltor 3s mounted to the helmet, then covered with amped Airsoft third tan Ragnar helmet cover. Apparently Kurt himself gave him that.
Nice. I love amped over there.
And then, and wait, guys, there's more. There's a second paragraph. Oh, yeah, and the gun is a Wolverine MTW with Magpul CTR stock and a Vortex Strike Eagle 2. Has the Race CO2 custom stock already installed, and it's pre-installed with the Wolverine Reaper engine. I often will trade out to use my HPA SCAR HDMR as well with this kit. Depends on the AO. Woo!
And a partridge in a pear tree.
So what was that, like 15 minutes? Like, are we ready for the interview? I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm lost in details. This guy has the best memory ever.
You get 50 exposure bucks
you do.
for having the longest detailed kit. On
He
our
either
loadout.
has the best memory of any human being I've ever met in my entire life, or he keeps every receipt from everything ever, because I don't even know
That's
where
true.
I got half the shit I have. Like, I mean, I got like a vest and I got some magazines, and I think there's a dump pouch from some like wish.com thing. I mean, I don't know how these guys do it. It's impressive.
I know, right? So we're
Cool.
going to cut to a quick commercial break, and we are bringing back Mr. Andy Self from the Chairsofter Show.
Would we say it's Andy himself?
That was pretty good. I
Yeah,
see
you
what
like that?
did
You like
there.
that? You like that one?
I see what
Yeah,
you did
see?
there. All right, we will be back. Don't go anywhere. Tag your friends. Get them in here. We're going to have a fun show. We'll be right back.
Oh.
The shortest path to your target is always a straight line. Be sure to check out Valken's full line of highly polished precision BBs made in Taiwan. The Valken Accelerate Pro Match BB is available now at your local Valken authorized dealer.
And we're back. The Valken
Mm-hmm.
Debrief Airsoft live show, episode number
107, number one show in Airsoft, verifiable.
Biggest
Google it.
budget.
You
Biggest
can finally
budget.
Google it. Google it. It's okay.
highest live numbers.
Yep.
I'm the Kaiju. This is
Peltast, Lord Fuzzy Face of the BB Shire.
and
Also, Christmas Elf.
your far left, my far right
Wait,
is Andy himself.
this way?
That way.
This
Yeah,
way?
that
This way. Okay, we're
That
this way.
Andy, we actually had to talk to Big G, Mr. Gino himself, the CEO here, to actually reposition the Valken satellite over
We actually-
Western Europe so he could pick up Andy.
I have a gripe about that, though. We
What is
didn't get
that?
to use the primary satellite. We have to settle for the secondary and tertiary. We're not important enough to get primary
That's
coverage.
true.
But
the Valken Core paintball live show, they actually
have priority on
they
the
have
main
priority.
satellite, unfortunately.
Their
We're sorry
budget's
about
bigger
that.
than ours.
Yeah,
the
way better than
bandwidth.
us.
It is.
So,
So Andy, welcome.
how you doing,
How's
brother?
it going? I'm not bad. Yourself?
Oh, fantastic! It is. One of us is in the Christmas spirit. One of us is
Yeah.
in the Robo spirit. See if he
Well,
actually
you're saying
catches us.
about a hat. Just a quick
That's
thing.
not Robo.
Is that not
can't
Robo? I thought that was
actually
Robo.
See you guys.
No.
Who is that? I guess I didn't look hard enough. It looked like. Is that John Higgs?
No.
Who is that?
That's Darth Valken.
Oh, is it? It's. Oh, I got tricked. Oh, it is. It looked. I mean, it looked like Robo when I looked. I just glanced at it when I was. He put it on my desk, and I glanced at it, and then I thought I had
my
some fun
gosh.
with it. Oh, I guess I accidentally did some trolling there. Didn't mean to.
So, if you have questions for Andy tonight, whether it's about the Chairsofter Show, Airsoft in the UK, Airsoft in Europe,
Funny
this-
English words that they say differently.
oh yes, funny English words like skip, juggernaut,
Lorry,
Lorry.
flat, lift. That's a good one.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, lieutenant.
Dilly.
Ooh, I like that one, Billy.
So Andy is only our second guest from overseas to pipe in live.
Well, I mean, it's very expensive, and we only
It
can
is.
justify occupying this much of the technical aspects of the Valken Corporation for this, for only once or twice a year, unfortunately. So,
So,
hey, buddy.
Starting off, let's get it warmed up. Andy,
What
Mr.
up?
Mr. Andy, who are you?
That's a traditional question.
Yeah, that's who the hell are you? I mean, for those that don't know.
You may not know you're on that side of the pond. So, yeah, I'm Andy. Been running the Chairsofter Show podcast now since February 2018. I think the first episode came out. We went to SHOT Show for my buddy's business to help him out, and then the podcast went live straight after that. So SHOT Show was sort of the start for me, one of the first 3 episodes. And now here we are coming up to 2020, nearly 2 years in. So I was playing Airsoft for 6 years now, I think. I've lost track. It's all
So-
a blur when work gets involved.
So, not to interrupt, but I want to hit on that real quick. So, you're from a country where guns are not really that prolific. And walking into an event like SHOT Show, what was that like, being an English person?
It's sort of like you walk around SHOT Show and you're just like, I want all these things, but they're illegal in our country. It's basically the only way. Like, I have a habit when I'm in the US. I make sure I can get some real steel time in. I actually was a volunteer with the Air Cadet organisation over in the UK, running 5.56, 7.62 ranges.
Oh, cool.
for the cadet forces for, oh God, I did that man and boy 14 and a half years I was in.
For you guys, just let me interrupt real quick. For you guys who don't know, when he says cadet forces, that's what we call junior ROTC in America. So it's like Boy Scouts, but with the British Army. So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
Yeah, I was actually part of the Air Cadet organisation, which is the Air Force, but it's the same principle.
Same idea.
It's 12 to 20-year-olds. They join the organisation. It potentially guides them towards a career in the military. So it gives them that background knowledge, sort of doing the drill, the shooting, the flying with the Air Cadets as well. It's scary to think I actually flew a plane by myself before I could drive a car.
Well, isn't the driving age 18 in your country?
You can start learning at 17.
Okay,
you can actually drive a car at 17.
So that's not as crazy as a statement as some may think, because here our driving age is 16. Like, we put children in cars. Yeah. We don't care. Whatever. Give them a license so we don't drive them around.
Wait, so if you can start driving at 17, does that mean, what age can you start drinking alcohol?
18.
Last time I checked, when I was in Europe, it's as soon as you can get money on the bar, you're legal. At least that's how Germany is. I don't know. I haven't spent a ton of time in England.
It's the same in Austria as well. I went to Austria when I was at school, and it was exactly the same thing.
Oh yeah, I forget. When you guys are teenagers, like you can go take like a spring break or whatever your equivalent like holiday is in like the springtime, and like go drink in like Spain because it's like right across the street.
So people are complaining the audio's not good. So when you say the audio's not good, folks, viewers, you have to be specific. I've been boosting his volume up, but again, he is coming from all the way across the bond. So it was at +2, but I'm going to boost up to +8 and see what happens.
Are we just going to destroy ears right now?
I don't know. But I think it's, in a combination, he is in a large room and it's echoing a little bit. So,
and we are on the secondary satellite. So
yeah, so we're just going to have to, just speak up a little bit. Andy, don't be shy. I mean,
yeah, that's fine. I don't know why I'm speaking quietly. I was worried about waking people up. I forgot everyone's out the house tonight. So
yeah, and it might also be the Bluetooth, as well as
it could be
quite picking you up fully.
Yeah,
the Bluetooth.
I do have. Worst case scenario, if it continues being an issue, guys, I do have wired headphones as backup.
Well, why don't you go ahead and switch over to the wired headphones real quick?
I can switch to them.
And while he's doing that, let's do a quick plug back again for the loadout battle. Be sure to vote. Let's see, where's the vote?
I'm gonna do my usual thing here. I'm gonna talk shit about our returning champion.
It's about Solo.
Yeah,
Solotron.
I mean,
I can dig it.
My problem with this is that I'm kind of torn because I normally root for the underdog, but I don't want to have to read that novel for the next 3 weeks. So I'm kind of torn here. I don't know which way to go. Where you leaning?
I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till the end.
Just reserving.
Yep.
Not gonna prejudice the voting.
My vote could probably swing it. Our votes could probably swing it at the end. You never know.
I think our votes did swing it last time. I'm not 100%, but those numbers changed.
I mean, it was
last
52
second
to 48%.
That's crazy.
When I actually hit stop, when there was the countdown, when Tony counted down, it was like 50-50, and then all of a sudden, the lag's got to catch up, and
it was heart pounding.
Yeah,
I can't say that.
How's the sound now?
Oh wow!
Hold on, don't speak. Don't speak. Don't shh. I gotta bring you down a lot. Hold on.
Oh, while he's doing that, I can pop over for
all
a
right.
break.
Let's try now, Andy. Go ahead and say hello.
How is that, guys? Hello. How are we doing? Is that a lot better?
That is genius. You sound like a whole different person.
I can actually see a little green bar by my name now on the screen here. So
yes, you actually sound a lot clearer. Before it was just very muzzled and reverby. So hopefully, viewers, give me a thumbs up. Tell us if Andy's audio is much better.
And I can just apologise because I've not used this system before.
Oh, don't worry, man.
Oh, it's okay. Hey, we're expanding your horizons.
Okay, there we go. We got thumbs up. They can hear you. Can we go back to interviewing now? Are we done with technical difficulties?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So where are we at? We're talking a little bit about England. Let's.
What do you do in real
that's
life?
That's a good question. We haven't gotten that yet.
What do I do in real life? So I work for the Martin Baker Aircraft Company, which makes the ejection seats. So I'm a inspector and CMM programmer. So I'll program the measuring machines get them measuring all the components. I sent Rob a photo earlier, actually, showing the pain that I go through with my 2,500 lines of code that I've spent the last 2 weeks doing, and I'm still about 2/3 of the way through a job. But yeah, well, I can literally get anything from sort of a tiny little component about that big to a beam I'm working on at the moment is about that big.
That, I have to say, that might be the most impressive real life job we've had so far. That is way cool. So,
Really?
I'm guessing if you're working for Martin, the current project would be like the F-35, maybe? Is that what you guys are working on right now?
That's one of our biggest projects. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to put myself in trouble.
No. I don't want to get you in trouble. I always like to squeeze a little tidbit out of our guests. And we have a lot of military fans out there, so they love to hear about that stuff.
Yeah. In fact, fun fact, we actually had our first life saved by the F-35 seat this year.
Oh, kick ass, man. So something you put your hands on directly saves someone's life at some point.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
That's great, man.
And it's great. It's really impressive because as we drive into work, there's a big board that tells you how many lives have been saved in total, how many this year and how many this month. So the minute you see that one go up on the board, you're like, potentially I've worked on something that saved someone's life here. You know, it is impressive.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. So so I'm guessing your primary discipline is you're a coder of some kind because you keep talking about code. So you're a programmer?
Yeah, so I'm a CMM programmer, so all the measuring machines I'm currently, I'm still learning in a way, but I'm programming those machines to measure complex parts. We can get handed the drawing and the 3D model and told, make a program to measure that, and then off I go. I have to write it.
So how does that carry over into the things you want to do with your time? Not saying that you don't enjoy your work job, but how does that carry over to airsoft and what you do in your normal life? Is a lot of stuff revolve around computers? Are you doing CNC stuff, making stuff on your own? How does that interact?
Generally, I'm desk-based, so I'll sit at a computer, offline programming. I'll have a 3D model to work with, a drawing to work with. I then start programming the machine. Then I get given the physical component to put on the machine. And then off we go. We make sure that our programs will measure and repeat the results of that part. So you can then turn around to the guys on the machines out in the workshop and go, right, okay, that's wrong, but the rest of it's okay. Go sort that out.
Cool. That is way cool.
Man, and Holly, Holly's made the return in Control Room B, and she popped up what he does for a living. She was just on it.
Oh wait, do we have graphics right now?
They
were up and down.
They were up
as
he was explaining.
We were chatting. Were you?
I know.
Was our staff doing their job actually
They
for
were.
once? Shocking. Cool. Gotta love it.
I know, right?
No firings this week. It's Christmas. I don't want to fire anybody.
No,
I'm not a big Christmas
guy. You never
guy.
want to let anybody go right around the holidays.
But the 26th, they're all fucking gone.
We will have a show on the 26th.
We will.
With two people, one of which has a very strong British accent.
He does.
They
use a Spanish name for themselves, but no one's Spanish.
Yes, but we'll wait to announce that.
We're not gonna tease it. So let's go to airsoft. What is the UK airsoft scene? First of all, have you played in America?
Wait, how did you get into airsoft, Andy?
We talked about that. You missed it.
Right, so,
Yeah, we were talking about that.
Where was I?
No, I'm fucking with you.
You make me feel like a real waker.
See, what were we at? I'm 22 episodes in. 22 episodes in, finally got him, guys. See, a little payback for you.
Yeah.
You like that?
So airsoft, wow, there's a story. So I actually I came across airsoft about 16 years old, 15, 16 years old. And a few of us were just messing around in someone's garden. They had a lot of land, and it was the unsafest thing in the world. We didn't think about iPro. We just brought 45-pound guns off of the internet because the VCRA didn't exist at the time.
You went to play airsoft without iPro.
Wait, I'm more. The question I want to ask is, where do you find a 45-pound airsoft gun? That's a heavy ass gun.
I know, right?
Holy Christ! Oh wait, that was the cost of it. Oh, that's right. The pound is in your money. Okay,
Yes,
I get it
he's
now.
talking
Okay.
pounds.
I should have seen that joke coming. A mile away.
Just say quid or dosh,
Yeah.
and you're square.
Or Wonga Reddies.
Or here's how we really piss off the Brits. Say euros.
All right, so continue.
Yeah, so it then sort of stopped until I started in my current role at Martin Baker. Then I was like, I want to get into this airsoft thing properly and actually do it right this time, because we've had the VCRA come in, which is the Violent Crimes Reduction Act, which was a whole thing about two-toning guns to make sure that, and then you could only have the real-looking ones when you had a valid defence, which is UCARA or whatever. It's not a licence.
Okay. The UCARA defence or something like that, I think it's called. I see it on
Airsoft Retailers Association, so I don't know the whole politics behind it.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. I
don't want to. But that's like the most recognised defence for skirmishes in the UK. Then I got into Airsoft big time, started playing some CQB as well, trying it out, because I started off at a woodland site like I think majority of people do. And then really from there, it just escalated. Now I'm at the point where I just go out and I'm like, oh, shiny, need to buy. And
we all suffer from the shiny syndrome.
I like the term he used, escalated. He didn't say like it increased. He used like a destructive term for his airsoft.
What's the word?
Wars escalate, not like
right.
love
it goes
doesn't
from
escalate.
Like here to here in about this much time period. Really short time period.
The airsoft life cycle.
In what region of the UK are you kind of located, so people understand where you're at?
So I live in a county called Hertfordshire, which is just north of London. I'm about 40 minutes out of London by train.
Would that be known as the Midlands? Is that what they call the Midlands, I think? Did I get that right? I'm serious.
No, there's no such thing as the Midlands in the UK. So
I keep hearing I keep hearing people like I will say it on Top Gear. That's most of my interaction with England. They talk about like the English Midlands, and I thought that was like the area between like England and Scotland, like that area, or is that just a made up thing?
Yeah, so you've sort of got the southeast, whatever. The Midlands is about Birmingham, which is about 2 hours north of me, and then an hour and a half, 2 hours north of me, and then you head up north, and then you get in Scotland.
So
that clears up a lot for me.
Yeah.
So around your area, do you have more outdoor fields, or is it more indoor CQB stuff?
It's quite varied, and it's actually CQB is something I want to come on to a bit more later when we talk about my recent trip to the States to play.
I'm excited for that.
So within about hour and a half, 2 hours of me, there's a nice mix. I've got some CQB sites, some woodland sites, and what some places refer to as urban sites as well, which will be a little bit of both. There's best of both worlds around here.
That, what is the difference between an urban site and a CQB site in the UK?
Well, the general understanding I have of it, and I'm sure people will be like, no, you're wrong, because, that's how airsoft works. But, generally, the urban sites, they'll tend to be sort of more referred to as some of the military areas that people can get onto to play in. So like Longmoor Camp, which is a army training area, that's referred to as an urban site by people. So basically that's all sorts of buildings, but you're outdoors quite a bit, and then you can get into the buildings, and you can sort of do a bit of both. You can do the woodland outside and you sniping and that, or you can get indoors and do your kicking doors in and getting shot a lot like I do.
Urban is essentially describes anything that's like a prepared pre-built site, I guess, like, because we just call those like training centers, I guess, like Fort Hood, Copperhead Place, New Mexico, where they hold Copperhead. So I mean, I guess I'm trying to grab the definition on this. I'm having a little trouble, or maybe I'm trying to find.
Me, sort of an urban site will be sort of somewhere you can get the best of both worlds. You can do your outdoorsy stuff and hit the woodlands and get all sneaky and dress up like a tree and stand there and see how many people notice you, or you can get inside and start having some fun.
Are you guys having problems with the tree people? Because I've started to notice when I go to local fields, there's always a tree person there. And he's always a tree person in the opposite ghillie suit to the environment. So it'll be like snow out, and he'll have his leaf ghillie suit.
It's always about what you can afford. I would think, the urban sites are like the site you always see Navrich play in Austria. That's an urban site. A CQB site, imagine in a warehouse or in a building, like a singular building where they've built up bunkers and made it look like something inside, that's like CQB.
Can I give a controversial opinion on this? I think they may have figured out this terminology better than us. They got it. I'm just saying.
I agree with you. No, Europeans know what Milsim is.
Yep.
We do not over here.
Are we European fanboys, I think? Are we going to be accused of that? What, like a Eurowoos or something?
I'm fine with that. I'm completely fine with that.
So
it's fine because I'm an American fanboy, so...
What are some of the regulations?
Oh, I was getting to that. That's
that
was literally what I was about to ask. So you've been to the States.
We're like this.
I don't want to hear about the States. I just want to hear... Oh, sorry. Did I leave you hanging there? Okay.
No, yeah.
So you've been to the States, so you can do some comparisons. I don't want to hear about the States, but what are some things that you... From playing in the States and playing where you are, what do you see different? Like, what are some trends that are very UK and we would be very foreign to us here?
Well, I mean, one thing I did notice is the CQB sites that I've tended to play at. So we've got sites. I'm going to give a shout out to these guys. You've got the jail in Oakham, and you've got South Coast CQB.
I've seen the video of the jail. I've seen several videos. It's on my bucket list. It's one of the sites I have to go to before I die. Totally, it's awesome.
If you're coming over, give me a shout. It's an hour and a half from me. We'll get a beer afterwards. It's fine.
Done. Absolutely.
There's a nice pub down the road. There's a really nice pub down the road. I'm playing there Saturday actually, and then pub straight after. Done.
Oh,
happy days.
Cool.
But they tend to be sort of reclaimed buildings as such. So like the jail is literally 3 wings of an old prison that shut down. I think early 2010s. I think it was 2013 maybe. The whole place closed down. Half of it's an industrial area, and they've got the 3 wings over the back of the site that you can literally just run room to room and very methodically work your way through a building to try and clear it out. And
you're making me very jealous right now. I've been seeing videos of this site for like 3 years now. Like, I'm super jellies.
Yeah. But South Coast CQB is a really good site as well. It's an old army transit camp, I think it's referred to as. So basically it was sort of like extra accommodation that wasn't part of a main base, but it was there. So if people went down to use ranges or whatever, they had temporary accommodation they could stay in.
Very cool.
And yeah, you've pretty much got the run of the whole site there. You've got 2 double-story buildings as well, and the snipers can get out and shoot out of the windows. And it's always funny watching the snipers going across the sort of parade square as such at each other with these 2 buildings directly opposite each other and the windows taken out in perfect places so they can just get shots off and see who gets shot first.
So speaking of snipers, what's the FPS? I've heard FPS is a little lower in England. So what is your average FPS you're dealing for outdoor fields?
So the site limits tend to be across the UK generally around the 350 FPS limit.
Mm-hmm.
Then for DMRs locked to semi-auto, it'll be maybe 400, 450, that sort of ballpark. And then the sniper rifles, bolt actions can go right up to 500 FPS.
Now, that's interesting to hear because in the States, like generally 400 is a hard limit on most fields, and they might go to 450 for snipers. But to see that jump between 350 to 450, that really gives a significant velocity advantage to those rifles. So that's actually, because I've never been a fan of the bolt guns. I can't really justify having to work a bolt when I can just pull my finger as fast as I can, and I might not be as accurate, but I'll get you eventually. And so if I have almost 100 FPS or 150 FPS over everybody else, totally makes it worth it for me. That's really cool to hear.
So what is typically the heaviest, if you're not a sniper, and you're playing in the UK, what is typically the average or heaviest BB that people use over there?
It depends on the setup of the guns. I've got guys running TM recoils that are using 3.2s.
Oh, so
on a 350 gun.
So 3.2s are kind of the heavier end of what you guys are dealing with, because we're seeing all the way up to 4.0s are showing up very common on fields here.
Yeah, I mean, when you start getting up to the sniper weights, you can get your 4.5s, your 4.8s going. But generally speaking, for AEGs, I've not heard of anyone using more than a 3.2.
Okay, so you can save a little money when you play in England. It's good to hear.
Yeah.
So also I heard an interesting tidbit. I heard you guys don't have full seal restrictions on your iPros. Also a little jealous about that. Just normal shooting glasses?
So these are my actual iPro, so they're Edge Tactical. I got these to try out on the recommendation of a friend. I've got the orange lenses in, so it would help if I can hold somewhere you can see.
Oh, we can see it just fine. Yeah, it's gorgeous, man. You got a great webcam.
But these are generally really comfy. You ain't got a lot of room around the sides, to be fair. So they're and the thing I like about these, they've got something called Vapor Shield, which is some technology they've got, and these things I haven't fogged in game.
What was it? What was the name
and
of
I'm
this
a
again?
big sweaty bastard. Edge Tactical.
Edge Tactical. So top tip there. If you want something that does not fog, Edge Tactical has been tested by the Chairsofters officially.
Yeah. So, speaking of which, you actually had an opportunity to come visit the United States, and iPro was like
a problem.
A problem.
Yeah, I had a discussion with a couple of guys. A big shout out to my man Sheep from One Legion Milsim for putting me up and helping me out getting planned.
Those One Legion guys are awesome. If you ever run into one of those One Legion guys, please spend time with them. Please give them a high five. Take a selfie. Those guys love the sport. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, generally. And yeah, I mean, put it into context for these guys. While we're giving them a shout out, I told him my plan to come to the States because it was for random guy Kev's Airsofting with Friends event at Strike House South, which was 30th of November that day. And Sheep immediately went, dude, come stay with me. I'll put you up. I'll lend you all the kit. So, because flying my guns out there, I had to pay £125 each way.
Yeah, that's not. You might as well just buy a new gun when you go. Buy a gun, leave it in the States, and go home.
To give you an idea, that's almost $170.
I don't know what the value of the pound is right now. I'm used to it 2 to 1. That's when I was a kid.
It's like 1.
Yeah, it was 1.25.
Yeah,
I think $1.25 to the pound.
So the pound is very close to the euro, I think, right now, right?
Yeah, they're fairly close. So we won't go into that.
Sorry, you were in the States for Random Guy Kev's event. Airsoft with Friends. Did I get that right?
I was like, do I need Full Seal Pro? Because I'd seen some bits about it, and they were like, yeah. So I actually managed to get hold of a cheeky little discount code from Wiley X. So I got these Full Seal goggles.
Ooh, those take me back a little bit. Those remind me of some days in the desert, if you know what I mean.
Funnily enough, that's exactly what I thought, because during my time with the cadet forces, we actually had careers talks, and it was during the height of Afghanistan, Iraq, and the guys were showing us their kit, and I remember these. But Full Seal.
Very cool. Yeah, I actually had.
These were really good to try.
Way back in the day, I had a pair of the original. I don't know if you remember these, the Wiley X's that had the individual frames with the individual padding.
A lot of motorcycle shops still sell those models. Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good tip now, because I want to replace them, because they've been gone for 10 years. But a lot of people didn't like them because they didn't like the lack of airflow. I loved it because it spread the weight out equally on both sides of my face, and it didn't give me like headaches from like the sides. Loved them to death. I think they burned up in a fire. I think they got blown up a little bit. I think they got blown up, they did get blown up in that first one.
So have you ran Full Seal before, or was this the first time?
I had some very sort of low-profile bollies, which are basically a cheap UK brand. They're all ballistically rated, but they're sort of the cheaper end of the market, as it were. You can get them for about 12 quid.
We like to use the term more affordable end of the market. That's the term we like.
Yeah. Well, it is. It is at the end of the day, it's as I say to a lot of people when I'm talking to them about getting into airsoft. You make of it what you want. You spend as much money as you want on your kit.
I love hearing that attitude. I love that. That warms my heart.
In the chat, Vincent Aponte says, Andy, you need to come to Fulda Gap.
I second
North Carolina from across the pond.
I haven't been there, and I second that. People keep telling me how there's tanks. That's all I'm going to say. Tanks.
So there are technicals, yes. Shooting Nerf rockets, but it would fall into the category of what you would consider urban. So it's in a wooded area, but they have a lot of built-up bunkers and buildings, and and the terrain is very terrain. There's no flat place.
North Kakalaki is one of the roughest areas in the world for terrain. If you wondered why the American settlers, for our English friends, did not make it past those mountains, because they could not make it past those mountains, and that's North Carolina.
Do you have any other U.S. Venues or events on your bucket list?
I was talking to a couple of guys while I was still out there, because I literally flew out for the weekend. It was a very, very quick trip. I flew out, played the event, had a couple of days doing touristy things, and came home again. So I'm actually talking to a couple of the guys at the moment that I know about coming over next year, because I've also been invited to Canada. So I've been invited north of the border. We're talking about starting in America and working our way north and getting a game in.
Hold on. Wait, Canada's still there? Wait, they haven't moved yet? I thought we need the parking. Can
Just
they move?
about.
Yeah, we need the parking. I'm sorry. Oh, they're still... Sorry. Keep going.
Well, according to Mrs. Kaiju, they're all pirates.
That was a very funny story.
It was. So real quick. So when Mrs. Kaiju first met Robo Murray, and everyone knows Robo's from Canada, and she was like, "Oh, do you say things like arg?" And Robo was like, "We're not pirates. We say a, not arg."
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And I was actually disappointed doing an interview with a Canadian, and I didn't hear A once during that interview. I was like it's a lie. The TV lied to me. South Park lied to me.
I'm going to clue you into something, Andy. Most of what the world knows about Canada, they've learned from American TV and what we make fun of. So basically, all the world's knowledge of Canada is just stereotypes created in America about Canada, and we just roll with it, you know? So unfortunately, you got to blame us for that. Sorry, Canada.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, South Park told me that they're not a real country, but I've seen it with my own eyes. They clearly are.
It's an optical illusion. It's like those fake villages in North Korea.
Yeah, it's amazing what 40,000 feet can do to you.
Yeah.
So here's something interesting.
Sorry, David.
Before you came over and played to the U.S. for the first time, were there any stereotypes or assumptions that you had about U.S. play that were completely off?
Not really. Whether it was just the event that I chose and the site that I went to, but there weren't really any sort of stereotypes I heard. Obviously, I got told that there were a lot more, as they referred to at the site, the Speedy Boys, which...
I like that term. We're now on no more Speed QB, no more Speed Soft. They're now Speedy Boys. BOIS from now on.
Speedy Boys.
Which, they were. I couldn't keep up. I just had to sort of hope for the best. It's a very, very different way of playing to what I was used to.
And wasn't this the first time?
I generally didn't know what I was walking into. It was indeed.
Is HPA... So just to clear this up, do you guys have all the same stuff we have in England? You have HPA, CO2 guns, AEGs, all the same stuff, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I was just making sure there wasn't like a ban on HPA over there or something I didn't know about. Okay, keep going.
No. Well, the main thing that's put me off with HPA before, apart from I was paranoid about having a bottle on my back and the line running out. And after my mate decided to blow a line at an event, which scared the shit out of me, I thought someone had let a BFG off. I never really considered running it. And with the legalities around airsoft power limits in the UK at the moment, it puts me off even more because there's still some unclarity in how, if your guns were seized, they'd be tested. Which I think, I can't remember which company it was, but there was the guy from one of the companies who they basically cranked it up to maximum power and tested it and were like, yeah, that gun's illegal, you're getting arrested. And
so
that's the whole thing about that.
Yeah, that's like the equivalent of like, all right, we're going to test your AEG, but here's this giant truck spring we're going to put in it first, just to make sure that, you fail.
It is basically,
And
yeah,
for those
this is the thing,
for those that caught Andy...
Sorry, I was just going to say... that
there's a delay. He said BFG. It's not big effing gun. It actually means blank firing grenade in the UK because they're actually allowed to use blank firing grenades.
Those are loud too.
Oh, yeah, that's illegal there, isn't there?
They can use the tremors. We can't.
Well, yeah, because a lot of our airsoft I guess, regulations, we'll call it, are based because, we have real guns everywhere here. Like, I know this sounds crazy to a UK guy, but here in the lovely state of Colorado, most wonderful in the Union, I can walk out of the studio right now, put my gun on my hip, and walk around, and no one will say anything to me about it. In fact, if you don't see someone with a gun on their hip at least once during the day, that's a weird day. Like at the mall or the grocery store. So when we have regular guns or real guns that are out and about and, people are carrying them, that's why we have the orange tip rules and, you can't use blanks in airsoft because that's still real. Anything that's real firearm equipment is generally banned from the airsoft world, just so that there's no crossover and no accidents. And that's where that comes from. So, sorry, just to fill in the gaps there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, safety first and whatnot. At the end of the day, you want to walk home at the end of the day.
And I like having my toy guns and my real guns. So I want to take it away.
Sorry. Which is why every time I head out to the States, I make sure to hit a range if I can, just because I want to keep that skill that I learned.
Well, let me
shooting with the cadet forces in.
Well, I'm just going to make the offer right now. If you're ever in the Western United States, you got a place, right? Come on down. We got a 1,000-yard range down the street here. We got all kinds of fun stuff. We got mountains. Great.
Josh Longton says blank firing grenades are legal at D14 in Texas.
Oh, well then. So I guess they're...
I mean, it's Texas.
I mean, does Texas have laws?
They don't have gun laws.
I think the Texas... I think they have car inspections. Is about
I literally
all you
think you can buy suppressors at
like 7-Eleven.
The convenience stores.
They have like pistol... Yeah. Vending units everywhere you go.
It's Texas. Hey, Big G is watching. Gino, thank you very much.
Kiss the ring.
Yes. Thank you for allowing us to use our smaller satellite
we will
to communicate
return it
with the UK.
so you can watch the game tonight. We're sorry about that. We'll have it back to you as quickly as possible.
Oh, Eagles aren't playing tonight.
Well, I thought he's watching Premier League or something. I mean, I don't know.
Eagles, bro. Philadelphia Eagles all the way. Me and Big G, Eagles... all the way.
I will talk shit about the Eagles, but not when Big G is here, and I'm sorry. I will not risk it.
He's a Steelers fan, boss. No. He's a Steelers fan.
So how many titles do you guys have? Was that one you guys got now? You get one?
Magically muting.
Oh wait, I don't have enough hands for all the rings that we have. We have more rings than fingers. Oh, that's right. Sorry. Sorry, that's look. Just Wikipedia when you get off the air. Don't worry about it. You'll understand.
Yeah. So, do you have any bucket list European events?
Now, there's, funnily enough, at IWA, the first year I went, I got chatting to some guys who run events. I believe it was the Czech Republic, but I was looking at their Milsims. My God, they look amazing. I think it was like an 86-hour event or something.
Ooh,
and if you got killed in action, you were out for 6 hours. Like, that was it. You don't play for 6 hours. That's your respawn time.
Dude, would you think with such a long respawn time, would you think it would lend to people acting like Supermen and not calling their hits just to stay in the game longer? Or?
I'd be hiding behind every bit of cover I could find. I'd be the biggest pussy on the planet if I had a 6-hour wait.
Now, the thing I liked about that, because it's like 82 or 86 hours, I can't remember the exact figure off the top of my head, but that 6 hours, I'd use that for downtime to get some sleep, or you can go and play Civ Pop if you want. You can go play Civ Pop and just be a rioting villager.
That's cool.
There were photos of a load of Afghani villagers just rioting and stuff against the UN forces. It was so awesome to look at the photos.
Have you done any Milsims yet, or are you just mostly a local field player? Because I know that here in the States, the big Milsim events are kind of a goal for local field players to make it to. It's kind of like working your way up, I don't know, the level of events. But I know from talking to several Europeans, you have a lot of players that have zero interest in going to big games. They just like playing local fields. So is that a regular thing for you, or where do you fall on that?
I mean, we also have a sort of intermediate level as well, which is referred to as Battle Sim, which will be sort of an 8-hour continuous game. It's sort of the intermediate between sort of skirmish and Milsim, in my view. And it sort of gets people that stepping stone into Milsim. Now, I started the podcast just after I'd done a couple of Battle Sims, and for me, I was like, well, I want to promote the podcast. My biggest audience is going to be the skirmish side. So I've just made it a goal to sort of try as many as I can. And I've got a load more on the list for next year. There's a few around the country. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling again.
Well, let me throw something in your ear, brother. Because you have enough time to plan for this year coming up, and there's 2 events I want to throw at you. Number 1, Copperhead in Playas, New Mexico, held by AMS. Always a blast. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Great site, great location.
But
I've heard a lot of really good things about that, actually.
You're talking about, and
like
not to downplay Copperhead,
Okay.
Andy, but Andy's overseas at sea level, and then he's going to time change 8 hours
I forgot,
and play
yeah.
at 4,000 feet
I
above sea
forgot
level.
we live up here and everybody else lives down here. And so when we go to
Yes.
Copperhead, we're
Yeah.
just kind of here-ish. I forgot. So
Because that would be a very.
I mean, I think I'm about 70
environmentally brutal
feet. Does
event.
that count?
No. We're right now at the building we're standing in right now is at 6,600 feet in the air, and I'm looking at Pikes Peak way above my head when I walk out the door. So we are way up there.
Jesus.
What's it called? Cancel Copperhead. So here's actually the Avalon. We just came last event we came back was Conquest of Avalon, held by Overwatch.
Yep.
Run by some good friends of ours, Brian, Will, Lone Wolf, all down there. Put on a great event, and the best way I would describe it, and I say this over and over again, it's called a Milsim, but it's not a Milsim.
I think based on what Andy was talking about,
Yeah.
it would just be 2 days of battle sim back to back, Saturday and Sunday.
with a massive scavenger hunt in the middle of it.
It's a big game of tag with scavenger.
And their props are amazing. They put on a really fun attitude. It's near civilization and hotels.
It's in a Renaissance fair.
And it's in a Renaissance fair.
So you can dress up like old British knights and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So you're in a the Ren Fair that's closed for the off season, and you're just running around. And there's the jousting booth and the dunk tanks and all that other stuff. It's just interesting, but it's a nice kind of transition event where it's near stuff. You don't got to pack a lot of stuff in. You don't need to have really specific uniforms. The uniform standards are kind of like, I think this year it was like one side was like solid black and gray, and the other side was like anything camo. So it's a real easy way to slip in. It's a very fun middle of the road crowd. People don't get too serious. Would be my recommendation if you're making plans for next year.
So to get back to Andy, so basically, they have skirmishes, which we have too. It'd be your local field. You go out for a day and you just go out for these skirmishes for 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. You come back, sit out one, and then you go back out again, just back and forth. Then he has Battle Sim, which I think the predominant term in the U.S. amongst fields is Scenario Day.
Yep, I think that I would call that, or Bridge Event is another one I've heard.
Yep. And then Milsim would be that entire weekend, but in the U.S., there's only one company, Milsim West, that goes continuous. The majority of the other companies actually take a break. There's a pause in the Milsim events, but in the larger events in Europe, like Border War, like Burgett, it doesn't stop. It's continuous. So Milsim in Europe, it does not stop.
I think you pronounced Burgett wrong. You have to say it like, oh, Burgett. You have to have the angelic chorus in the background. That's how you actually have to say it from now on.
Brian Burgess from Overwatch, he says, I like the term battle sim.
Ooh, yeah, I think that's going to catch on.
I don't think it's patented, Brian. So you could probably start using it.
Yeah, just copyright that right now, and then make sure no one else can use it, especially those guys in England. Yeah.
Ryan McMahon says, "Happy holiday, boys." Hey, Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Oh, so speaking of which,
if I'd have known we were doing hats, I would have worn one.
Oh no, don't worry.
I didn't know.
The secret is we're actually both bald. Or going bald, so we wear hats for vanity's sake.
No. I purposely
It's all right.
shaved
I
my
think
head.
mine's starting to go.
So you purposely shaved that bald spot in the front of it? That you shaved that
so
too?
it looks like it's supposed to be that. Come on.
Okay, let's get back to the guest. Can we talk about the guest?
You started getting into the podcast, and you said you started it, what year did you start the podcast?
2018, so last year, February.
2018. So you started doing podcasts, and what have been some of the challenges with you getting into that podcast and learning how to do that and things of that nature?
The main challenge for me was I wanted to be as lazy as possible with my editing because and then my buddy Dom, who is actually coincidentally now my co-host after being banned from the show for a year.
Wait.
When he decided to turn up.
Wait, you banned your own co-host? How does that happen?
Or he was a
He
listener?
wasn't my co-host at the time.
Oh, okay.
I invited him on the show. He made a lot of inappropriate jokes about America, which I had to edit out. And then, like, I wouldn't let him on. He was begging me for a year to let him back on. And then he came back on for one episode. I said, right, you've got another chance here. You've got to be in your best behaviour. And he was, to be fair. And Graham from Airsoft Nation was actually like, I really like the interaction between the two of you. And I was like, well, hey, if I can get someone else on the show as well, it gives me an opportunity to, if I start getting stuck for ideas for questions potentially, then he can come in and think of some things that he's thought about, and we can just bounce off each other like that. And it's worked really well, the episodes he's been on.
Wait,
Yeah.
are we innovators? Are we spreading the good word of the buddy teams of Airsoft? And actually, I'll digress with that real quick. I'll say that's actually demonstrates that Airsoft is best when with friends. You like that?
Yes.
Hallmark
Yeah.
moment.
Random Die Kev got
Yep.
it right. Airsoft with
Friends. High five to Kev.
So Brian from Overwatch asks, what is Andy Self's favorite camo pattern, and what pattern seems to be more popular in Andy's neck of the woods?
Ooh.
I see a lot of DPM.
I started off with my old DPM that
Yep.
I'd had for donkey's years, and it still fits me by some miracle. I don't know how, because I've put on a lot of weight since I was a cadet when I was first wearing that. Hey, you can start drinking and stuff, but
I'll catch up.
I'm really loving the. I've got the Viper VCam lower and rig, and I'm loving that with my Emerson multicam black shirt at the moment. I'm loving the look of that.
Is the VCam, is that like snake skin looking stuff? Did I get that right, or is that the Cryptic?
No,
The VCam is sort
Cryptek
of Viper's take on multicam.
Oh, okay.
It's like their own take on multicam. So it's very similar. It is
Wait,
different,
Valken
but it's
has
very
VCam
similar.
too.
Wait a minute. Nope, that's a path we don't want to go down.
Nope,
we don't go down that path.
We want to avoid that. So, do you?
Yeah, let's not cause any tension on the show.
Yes, exactly. So, like in the U.S., we have a lot of very enthusiastic reenactors that have to have like the real kit, like Cry Precision, Haley Strategic, Mayflower.
Yeah.
All these companies. Is that do you have your own sect of players in the UK that go for like the real name brand stuff, or are people happy with Emerson or Viper or whatever?
Oh, you mean the gear whores?
Ooh, he said it. He said it.
Same
It's the same. So I've heard gear whores. I've heard gear does, gear tards as well. There's a bunch of them. I like it.
Again, like I say, people pay for what they want to buy at the end of the day. You do get the people that will go out and only run Cry or a company like that. Me personally, I want more money on guns, so I buy the lower end kit. But to be fair, like I say, lower end kit, it's not lower end. It's just the lower price tag. Yep. It's the more affordable end of the market at the end of the day.
Fabric is fabric.
It's absolutely solid. Yeah, exactly.
That's true. I mean, would you rather tear your britches for a $20 pair of trousers or a $200 pair of trousers?
I would rather buy five $20 pairs of something than $100 pair and then have spares in the back of my truck when I need it.
What is the most popular gun platform or gun brand in the UK that you see constantly a lot of?
Oh, you see, you've got the likes of sort of D&G, Tokyo Marui, if you want to go for the high-end stuff. That's quite big over here, which, talking to some guys from the States, they say it's not as common over there as it is in the UK.
No TMs here, man. TMs, you have to basically smuggle them into the country is the only way to get them in the States. If you have a TM here, you have a friend who does shady shit, basically.
I've got one out there. Actually, no, it's at the tech at the moment, getting some work done to it, some upgrades. But that's the other thing as well. If you're buying a TM, you're investing because you've then got to spend all that money on the upgrades to bring it up to a UK sort of limit to keep you on par with the guys. But like, recently, I've been seeing a lot of people going for the KWAs as well.
Really? Because they were... Because here in the States, K-Dub, for a while, what you'd see constantly in the middle range, you'd see a lot of Crytex, a lot of K-Dubs, smattering of G&Gs and stuff. And now what we're seeing all over is we're in the middle of the 416 craze. Everybody's got a 416 variant. Everybody.
I think it's more about, what's the new hotness.
Okay, yeah.
Because I remember probably, I don't know, Andy, 5 years ago, when new guns came to the market, they came in waves. Batches and waves. Exactly. I mean, you'd have the 10 brand new guns across maybe 6 brands that are just flooding the market, right? But now, I think the releases and the timings is it's more spread out. Like the KWA TK45.
Yep, good example.
When it was released, there was nothing really else, during that time. So a lot of people wanted it. When the Crytek
CBR?
No.
Trident. Is that a Trident?
No, the 45 thing.
Wait.
The Chris Vector.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Vector AEG.
Yep.
When that came out,
people lost their shit.
People wanted to, to buy it. So I think, nowadays, those unique guns are they're getting fewer, more length apart. And so I think, things, become more hotness for a longer period of time nowadays than it was before.
Yeah.
And I think that's better for the sport as a whole, because then it's not about I have to buy a new gun this week and 9 magazines and all the pouches to fit it just so I can be cool this week. I can just run my shit forever. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you mentioned the TK45 though, because there's a funny story about me buying mine.
Let's hear a story time. Let's settle in. Hold on, we got to settle in for story time.
This goes into my buddy One Mag Tony. We call him One Mag. We'll come on to that in a minute. So my local retailer had one KWA TK45, the 3, I think it is, the long one, the recoil one, the ARG version. They had one in stock, and I saw that thing at SHOT Show last year and fell in love with it instantly. I was like, I need this gun in my life. Then I heard nothing about it for God knows how long. Then all of a sudden my local retailer has one, and me and this guy, One Mag Tony, are looking at it. We shot it, both like it, and he's like, I want it, but I haven't got the money. And I was like, I have. So I instantly, because my retailer offers a 0% finance as well, I got the deposit there.
Stop right there. Stop right there. You can lay away your airsoft guns in Europe and finance them?
0% finance, the retailer off. In fact, a few retailers in the UK are starting to do this now.
That's dangerous because
0% finance.
If I could just push a button and have all my airsoft goodies show up and then pay for them 10 years later, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
So, now, I think I'm paying £30 a month until April. It was over a year. I paid £150 up front.
Are you allowed
I walked away with the gun.
Upgrade them or change them in any way? Because technically they're being financed.
Yeah. So it's like a car, I guess? I don't know.
Mine's been upgraded.
Oh, wow.
I'll just throw that out there.
I'm sorry, you're going to need to find a new co-host. I'm going to England. I'm gone. Straight to England for
me. So I brought this gun. I've walked out with it. Tony's very jealous at this point. And then I'm like, I want to use it this weekend just to spite him even more. So I'm going on the internet and I cannot find TK45 mags anywhere. So quick Google search, bang, Amped Airsoft come up. Oh, I've heard of them. I'll order them. They turned up. I paid for an extortionate amount for shipping just to get them here for the weekend. So I could run it. And then Tony got his one. They managed to get another one in. He brought it and couldn't get a hold of the mags for love nor money. I said, order them off of Amps. He couldn't get them delivered in time for the game after he bought the gun. So he got the nickname One Mag because that's all he had with a speed loader for the day.
One Mag.
I have to say, though, that you probably wouldn't get that nickname in America because there's a lot of people with just one mag high caps. There's a lot of high cap only players out there.
Yeah.
Now, Chris,
it's the fact that you've only got mid caps and he couldn't get them. So I went up to him and I said, you can borrow one of my mags if you pay me £2 million.
So,
That's
Chris,
awesome
how
story.
many events have we been to where some kid, and I say kid because anybody younger than us,
Anybody
is a kid.
under the age of 1,000 is a kid to
like
us.
Andy right now, he's a kid to me.
He's a kid.
So, how many times has a kid come up to us at an event and they have this really cool gun and they ask, "Hey, do you have mags for this?" And it happens here too. I mean,
It's always something really obscure like a Dragunov or like an M1 Garand or a Tommy gun or something where you're just like, no one stocks those magazines. No one. I don't think even stocks them. I think you even have to
SR25 or M110.
Yeah, like you're just not gonna find it. They just don't exist. Oh, makes me laugh every time. That and double A's. Everybody always asks us for double A's. Like they didn't.
Oh,
think
the
to
amount of
stop at
times
the
I've gone
gas
to the
station
game
on the
without
way in, yeah.
batteries.
I
Yeah.
mean, well, because a lot of the electronic hearing protection,
Yep.
triple A's. So, I mean, what are they running double A's off of?
They're nods, maybe. I don't know. I know nods run off double A's. Or do you civilian nods?
Optics.
I don't know.
Beats me.
Optics, yeah. There's
Oh,
some,
I don't know.
There's some
I
optics.
just get asked for double A's a lot at the booth, and I'm just like, there's a 7-Eleven across the street. You know, just it'll be cheaper than us. Go for it.
So, in the chat,
I'm dreading the day the batteries on my Vortex go because I cannot remember for the life of me what batteries that takes. I think it's a AAA, but it's not run out yet. So
Just
I
cross
say
your
it's broken and see if I could get.
just cross your fingers and hope, basically.
so in the chat, Alex asks, is the I-85s and SA-85s more common over the pond? I barely
Ooh.
see them stateside.
That's a good question.
Or
No, do you know, I was actually having this discussion the other day.
L-85.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about the Lee Enfield like British issue bullpup
Yeah.
thing, right? Yeah.
Well, he wrote in
Yeah.
lowercase. So,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So fill us in, homie.
What you mean the one that was made by Enfield and then they had to give it to H&K to actually make it work? But that's another story.
We're not going to dive into that. People will get butthurt.
Yeah. No, I actually had this conversation the other day because you see a lot of AR platforms like your 416s, your M4s, but you don't see a lot of the L85s. And it surprises me because you'd think, right, okay, this is our country's sort of primary rifle. This is our, or is it they call the standard infantry weapon or whatever it is, or
Service rifle, whatever term you want to use for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different goofy name.
Yeah, but you don't see many of them, and it really does surprise me that you can't see as many as you think out and about.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, I can't who makes an SA-80? Like, I mean, is there only one company that makes them, or is there a couple?
Hold on. We're going to come back to that.
Okay.
We're going to come back to that. We need to...
we got to do a loadout?
yeah, we got to do a plug for the loadout battle.
So, Andy, would either of these guys be out of place at your local field if you saw them? Or can you not see our loadout, guys?
No, I mean, we've got everything.
Okay.
I can't see the loadout, guys.
The voting is actually pretty close.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow. We're
Yeah.
cruising around. I mean, I'm glad I didn't vote yet. I'm going to save to vote. I'm going to do that like 2 seconds left vote, so my vote does not influence anybody else's.
If you're curious on how to vote, just right next to the chat comment button, there's a purple circle with 3 lines. Just tap on that, place your vote, and you can swipe down and come right back to the show.
Awesome. Oh, hey. Before we go back to our guests, I just want to say we have a UK question. I think this might be our first question from the UK. David Pollock says, one of my main concerns...
Who the hell was up at this time?
I know, I don't know. But thank you for watching. One of my main concerns when buying a gun is the cost of accessories. My first pistol was a TM Mark 23, SOCOM, blah, blah, blah. Cost $38 per mag. So
38
pounds per mag, excuse me. So I bought a WE XPM. Spare mags were only 9 pounds a piece. So, I mean, what's the average cost? I mean, because I know like a gas mag here is about $30. You know, probably about 20 pounds U. Is that normal for mags to be around $80 a piece for gas guns for you guys?
Ooh, it depends what you're buying. So pistol mags, yeah, I'd say that's probably about right, 20, 30 pounds, depending on the brand, depending on what it is at the end of the day. Rifle mags, don't even get me started on GHK. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Really? You are not a GHK fan?
What is GHK? Did I miss something?
No, I am. I've got a GHK. I've got a GHK G5.
G5, by far.
Yeah.
The best
gas the mag prices. Oh my god! You need to sell it
in the planet.
Kidney.
Really? Ooh, I gotta check that out.
But yeah, he's right. The mag prices are
just ridiculous.
I mean,
Yeah, they're like
$85.
£70 a mag.
That's like what I pay for a gun.
Yeah.
Gun's for that price.
So, Josh Brown asks, ask Andy what footwear they prefer.
Oh, I'm loving my Magnums at the moment.
So
I've just bought my second pair of Magnums after 2.5 years.
So footwear. So on your CQB sites, do you guys have the same thing where you have guys who get fully kitted up to play indoor with their like straight up boots on and slide all over the place? Because that's something I see every once in a while here. Because I'm like, if I'm indoor, I'm just straight sneakers. 1-stars, I'm good to go. I don't need anything but that. But like full on like Carolina leg boots on hard ground with BBs just seems like a bad idea to me. I don't know. Have you guys run into that?
Well, I mean, it's really and truthfully, I can barely think of a site that says they don't want something decent, like a decent boot. I don't know a lot of sites that, in fact, I can't think of any I've been to that will let you run around in your trainers or your sneakers, as you call them, your running shoes. I don't know of sites like that. A lot of sites will enforce the full sort of ankle protection.
Oh, really?
Boots. So you've got that support, yeah, because I actually saw it years ago. We were out on an exercise with the cadets, and this was when I was only about 14 at the time, and guy went running down a hill, fell. There was this almighty scream, and the boots basically saved him. They saved his ankle big time.
Those are always
the medics
gross.
turned up. Yeah, the medics turned up. They said if he wasn't wearing the boots, bone would have come through.
So sorry, I had to send a call to voicemail. So our telephone board, if we answer a call, it cuts off our guest, and our guest can't hear the caller.
Yeah.
So our budget isn't that good.
I think we need a
yet,
Patreon.
So I apologize for putting you.
We should start the Valken Debrief live operator Patreon page. What do you think? And so if they want a live operator, they can pay for it. What do you think?
That could be like Airsoft.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Actually, we can actually play.
Do you want to play the
voicemail,
message?
But again, Andy won't hear it.
Yeah. So,
but our viewers will hear it. So we're going to play the voicemail real quick, Andy, and then I'll transcribe for you.
Okay.
Yeah, Andy. Well, I was asking not the footwear they prefer, but you're already talking about. Anyways, have a good one, y'all.
That was Joshua Brown. He was the one asking about the footwear.
but we already got to it.
We did.
High five. Good podcasting for here and for our guests. And our guests over here.
We're on it.
Here, Andy, put your arm up. Put your left arm up. See if we can do this. Left arm, and then high five. Yep, we high-fived across the pond. It's a record.
Yes.
You saw it right here.
Oh my goodness. So
we high-fived, what, 4,000, 5,000 miles?
That's
done. That's it.
The Valken technology.
This is the finest television you'll ever see.
Valken broadcasting technology is cutting edge.
So are you going to be coming back to SHOT Show next month?
I very much doubt it. Simply because A, I've just been to the States. B, if I'm doing this big tour next year, then I need to save money for that at the end of the day because it's expensive. Car rental's expensive.
That's probably one of car rentals are more expensive than airfare nowadays.
Well, especially because you can't really get anywhere here in America. Like where you live, public transportation gets you everywhere, right? Pretty much. Like you can get to like rural Scotland on public transportation, but in the States, if you're outside a major city and you don't have a car, you're walking. Like there's just no other way to get there. Sorry.
What about IWA? You going to be at IWA?
Possibly. That's another story entirely, which isn't this show. But yeah, I hope to be. I'll just have to wait and see what happens at the moment. There's a lot planned for January, February, March with sites I want to play, places I want to go as well. So it all depends.
All I have to ask is that you plan to swing through the Rocky Mountain regions like Colorado, and so we can say hi and maybe show you some hospitality. So please keep us in mind when you come through.
And get him drunk at high altitude.
Definitely.
Yeah, like with half a beer.
Actually, probably our beer tastes like water to him.
Oh no! We have real beer here in Colorado. As long as we don't give him like Budweiser and Coors, he'll be happy.
The microbrews and stuff like that.
Colorado brewed beer, and also like Coors is different here. So,
Gotcha.
yeah, if you don't
I'm
know,
all about those microbreweries, all those craft beers, and all that sort of stuff.
you'll dig Colorado. We actually have more breweries per capita than any place in the world in this state. So there's, I think,
Sounds like my
there's
kind of place.
Yep, there's about 4,000 breweries in the state. I think at last count or some crazy number like that.
Holy smokes,
Yep.
that's a lot. So, what do you have planned other than this big tour? I mean, what would you like to see happen to the Chairsofter show besides, you just going to more events this year?
Well, the YouTube is actually about to drop. My first video will be coming Christmas Eve. I'm dropping that.
So is that gameplay?
As a gift to the community.
Is that
no? I'm not about the gameplay because I don't want to let trying to get good footage dictate how I play a game of Airsoft.
Awesome
I very much
attitude.
want to focus
Awesome
more
attitude.
on. Yeah, I very much want to focus more on the kit reviews and events. So I've got a buddy from school, a guy called George, really amazing. He works in the film industry, so this is how good his videos are. And he come up to a charity event organised by the One Legion UK guys, which was to raise money for a couple of amazing mental health charities in the UK.
Awesome.
To get the awareness out, and that they raised £7,000 in a day.
Wow, that's like almost
Yeah.
20 grand of real money.
Yeah, it was an unreal amount. Like, people were just bowled over by it, and it was a full day event at the Halo Mill up north, about 3 hours drive from me. And my buddy George came along. I just said to him, "Go mad, film for the day, and create a video that shows off the event." And only 3 people have seen the finished product so far, and they're really excited.
Well,
But
I'm excited. So
what's
the channel that everybody can check that out on when it drops?
It's all just under the Chairsofter Show. I'll leave the link in the bio on my Instagram and a link on my Facebook as well, which are both under the Chairsofter Show. You can find me there.
Awesome.
And that will be going live on Christmas Eve as a Christmas gift to the guys that made the event, because there was 270 players there on the day and zero issues.
That's
So
great.
he's gone from the Chairsofter Show podcast, which he said the least amount of editing possible
to the most edited video ever.
To like,
well, this is why I've got
videos
someone to do it
require
for
a
me.
whole lot more editing.
Well, he's not doing it. He's still being lazy. He got someone else to do it. I thought you were listening. Like, he tricked his friend into doing it.
He tricked his friend. I mean,
I am going to do a bit of editing for. I did a little bit of a vlog of when I came over to the States, and I'm going to do a little bit of a vlog about that. But my editing skills are nowhere near his. I mean, this is his day job. Working in the film industry is what he does for a living. And I just gave him the idea of, do you fancy coming and helping me out, get some videos done?
So
Leo Lindell.
So
the
Andy,
chat.
I don't know if you're watching the chat right now, but it just got a little salty. Just a little
So
salty.
Leo says, "Why does this guy look like Peltast's younger twin version?"
Ooh. I mean, I would take that as a compliment, Andy. I don't know how else to take that. But,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
That's a win. And Leo does know about twins because he is one.
He is a twin.
He is a twin.
Fair enough.
So, all right. So people can find you very easily. I mean, you've branded yourself very well at the Chairsofter Show on Instagram, the Chairsofter Show on Facebook, and now on YouTube. That's going to drop Christmas Eve next Tuesday. The Chairsofter Show. So real easy to find.
And there is already a video up there from last year, which was our
little taste
unpopular Airsoft Awards.
Ooh, I think I want to watch that one now. Oh, speaking of which, we forgot to mention, you have a very cool logo. I was very impressed when I saw it for the first time. Do you do that in patches?
We're talking about that. I do.
Can you show that off to the
idea
audience?
behind the patches. This is the standard grey one, which the idea behind these is I'm going to get 100 made of each colour that I choose. And once they're gone, that's it. I won't do that colour for at least 2 years.
You're just doing one run of each patch, basically, so that if you if you get that patch, you're unique for a while. I like that at the very least.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, for my trip to the States, which I think this is what you really are excited about, I got these made up.
Ooh, that's some Morocco right there. I like that. That
Yeah.
just drips freedom. I gotta love. So, are you selling these, or do you give them away as you go?
I am. If you want to buy one, just DM me on Instagram, Facebook. Drop me a message, and I'll get in touch with you with all the PayPal details.
Awesome.
They go for
Andy,
£6, which is probably $7.
USA patch send. There we go.
Already in your inbox. Just check it right now. I actually really dig those patches. I'm not. I mean, you may not know this, but I'm not much of a patch guy. But occasionally I come across
these
one.
ones.
Yeah, I like that. And then my other one that really tipped me, if you haven't seen it yet, is Rudiment Arms does a tactical Rick from Rick and Morty, which is just on point. I love that one.
Well, and then Who Shot First just did the Rick missiles, the $3 Rick missiles.
Yeah, Rick missiles. That'll be cool.
Pickle
I'm
Rick
excited
missiles.
for that. Yep.
And just
I'll have to check those out.
We want to give a shout out to Will Pace, who's in the chat from Black Ops in Bristol,
Friend of the
Wisconsin.
show. Does he get a friend of the show title at this point? I think friend of the show counts.
Oh yeah,
yeah, friend of the show.
No. It's more than that because he has baby raccoons.
Oh, so he is the friend of the show at this point.
He is the only person that has provided a mascot to our show with the baby raccoons.
I thought I was the mascot.
No.
Oh, that's not my job here?
You can't be a mascot.
I can't?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're not cute enough. So, yeah, if you see, you said Rudiment Arms, and look who popped
Did
in.
I summon call sign Turk himself?
You did, and you only had to say it once.
Well, since he's here and watching, I want to say, hey, Turk, I saw your Facebook post. Please take it easy. Get well soon. I know recovering from injury is not easy. So thoughts and prayers, whatever your way. We love you, brother. Get well soon. Hope you see you back on the field soon.
Yep. So, yeah, if you ever get a chance to, if you're in the Great Lakes region, there are some great fields up there. Black Ops in Bristol, Wisconsin is one. Blast Camp in Hobart, Indiana is another one. I mean, there's up in, all the way from Illinois, Indiana. I can't say Ohio. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
The state that won't be named. The state that won't be named.
You like that?
The state that won't be named.
I like that.
Mostly because if you guys don't know, my in-laws are huge Ohio State fans, so I have to live through this every goddamn fall. So it's super annoying. Go Wolverines is all I'm going to say.
Yes. David Fortis in Canada, he also has his Dice Airsoft PVC.
Are they
patches.
20-sided dice for Warhammer or D&D? I wonder.
He actually, David, he does do a lot of miniatures painting.
Oh,
remember, because David.
That's right.
David listens to our show while he paints. While he paints.
That's right.
Yep.
So actually, hey, Andy, you're from the home of 40K. Are you a 40K guy?
I actually never knew anyone that played it when I was younger.
Really?
I never got into it.
Because from what I understand, every nerd in UK does 40K. It's like automatic because Games Workshop's right there.
A lot of shops a lot of airsoft stores in Europe are carrying Games Workshops.
Oh, so is that a crossover between two genres?
That's been a huge thing at European retailers.
Oh, cool. So I like nerd expansion in any form. And really, if you're not a fan of 10-foot tall, futuristic space knights with swords and plasma guns, I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing cooler than that.
Yeah. David says his dice patches are D6s.
D6s? I like that.
Yes.
That's cool. Yeah, keeping it real. Old school, some would say.
I mean, you're talking about Space Knights. We've just got a guy that dresses as a Crusader with a Browning M1919 for airsoft games as a standard thing,
I would like a picture
Nothing
of that.
can surprise me.
If you can get a picture of that, please send it to me. That would be cherished. That's awesome. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
This is that guy who gets a gun and immediately thinks, what can I do to ruin this gun? I think he's just got a Thompson and put, I think, a G36 rail on the front of it.
Oh, there's part of me. Part of me loves that, but part of me is just like, don't ruin tradition. It's just guns are supposed to look a certain way, as far as I'm concerned. Call me a crotchety old fuck, but that's who I am. Sorry.
Yes, you don't like space guns. Andy, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break.
Yep.
Then we're going to come back and talk about events.
Is that time already?
Yeah, it's about that time already. Yes,
We're having
it is.
fun.
Yep. So, Andy, you're going to still be there. We're going to talk about events in the U.S. throughout until March.
Well, we're basically
of 2020.
planning Andy's tour right now. That's what the event page is.
We're encouraging his behavior.
Yeah,
that's what
I
we're doing.
like that.
We're encouraging Andy's behavior.
I'm fine with that.
So don't go away. Don't go away. We're going to be coming back with events right after this quick commercial break.
I think it's got bacon in it.
Be sure to check out the Valken Tactical Kilo Gloves. Each glove is equipped with stretch mesh fabric and Velcro wrist closures. They come with silicone grips in those high contact areas and are touch screen friendly. These gloves are ultra lightweight and have soft gel padded knuckles to protect your hands against BB strikes. So no matter what kind of playing conditions you encounter, the Valken Tactical Kilo Gloves are the right fit for you.
And we are back, Valken Debrief Airsoft live show, episode number
107.
107.
107.
I'm the Kaiju.
This is Peltast.
And we are here with Andy Self from the Chairsofter Show.
Wait, does he have a call sign? Is he the Chairsofter? Is that what we're going to call him from
do
now
you
on?
have a call sign?
Do you have a nickname?
I used to have the call sign Breakfast. That's another story. If
I
you've
like
seen the
that
meme,
one.
you'll know.
I like that. Nope. From now on, Andy is breakfast. It's over.
Unless he changed to Braxis.
Ooh.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, we're not one to talk. Our president's being impeached right now.
Yeah. But thankfully,
it's
we
like
can all
we said
come
earlier.
together.
Politics is just hold my beer at the moment.
Hold my beer. Watch how bad I can fuck this up.
All right.
So luckily, we can come together and talk about nerd stuff. And we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah.
See, great.
I'm all about that.
So you know what?
All about
I'll
the
steer
airsoft.
the events.
You can steer?
Yeah, I'll steer the events.
Okay.
So first up, Battle of Los Angeles 2020. This is going to be January 31st through February 2nd. And this is going to be in the Pacific region and Victorville, California. This is put on by Desert Fox Airsoft Events. So this is a Blue Fox Tracker event.
This is at that old Air Force base, right? The housing that's broken down?
George Air Force
So
Base.
actually, this, to explain to you, to Andy, would be exactly what you think is urban. It's a housing complex neighborhood on an Air Force base that got shut down, and it's just crumbling and falling down and falling apart. So open areas, indoor areas, pretty cool.
And if you're in the Pacific region and you want more information, our mod 3.0 is putting a link to that event down in the chat, so you can click interested, notification, subscribe, and Peltast. If somebody wants their event on the show,
really easy.
Yeah, how do they do that?
DM this guy, DM the Valken Airsoft page. Just get into.
Throw me under the bus.
I did a little bit.
Man.
Yeah, he's got it. But DM us. Give us all your information. We'll populate it from there. Where the event, who you're hosting.
Got to be a Facebook event.
Please, if you're, and I hate to say this, if you're a smaller promotion or maybe a field that's on the smaller side,
if
you're doing
you want
something
us
different.
to sponsor, you send an email to rpierce, Pierce, Valken.com. If you want Valken to be a sponsor, send it to Rob Pierce, rpierce@valken.com.
But if you're a smaller event or something different, please give us a little blurb describing the event so we can properly describe it and promote it. Helps you out. Helps
and if
us
you
out.
do that Facebook event, make sure the About section is filled out. So,
And also make us a co-host on the event so we can populate it on our stuff and we can help promote it because we're all about promoting your stuff. We want you to sell tickets and play airsoft.
So up next, Operation Bone Strike 4.
Sal and Company.
Yep, February 21st through the 23rd in the southern region. It is a Third Coast Airsoft event in Vicksburg, Mississippi.
TCA.
Yeah, and so Sal, Sal, he's still active duty.
Yep.
He's a lieutenant colonel in the Army. And Sam Asadi from Airsoft Junkies in Georgia.
Probably have that Humvee out there, won't he?
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
That Humvee goes wherever he does, along with a giant RV. They travel in style.
Yep.
Ooh.
Next up, we have Road to Kharkov, February 21st through the 23rd.
This is
in the Pacific region.
Oh, okay.
Yep. This
Hill
is
559.
Milsim West event at Hill 559 in Clovis, California.
Nice. So if you guys don't know, if you've been living under a rock, Milsim West is about as immersive as you can get. Well, I don't know if I'd say them and Centurion are tied for immersion. I'd say. I mean, I can't vouch for either one. I haven't been, but
So Third Coast will be Battle Sim. Now we're getting to Milsim West, which is because they're just nonstop.
they are. And also, if you want to do that whole head to toe authenticity, you want to have nothing but Russian kit on. They do that. You want to have nothing but NATO kit. They do all that super dress up, get your head in the game stuff. So if that's what you're looking for, Milsim West got you.
Yep. Cool. So next up, Saratov Insurgency, March 20th through the 22nd in the Appalachian region. This is another Milsim West event in Old Fields, West Virginia.
That's a weird name. Like, I think do you think there's more than one Old Field in West Virginia, or is that the Old Field? Like,
Probably,
they're all
it's
newer
probably
fields?
the Old Field. So next up, we have Traición and Copan.
No one knows what goes on there. No one will tell me. So Andy, if you don't know, Centurion is, they just don't tell anybody shit unless you've been there. So you have to just go to experience it. That's it.
So So Traición and Copan is March 27th through the 29th. It is a Centurion Milsim event held in the southern region in Blakely, Georgia. So this is a fully immersive event. There are folks that have come out of this event that I've talked to personally, and that I've experienced personally, never fired a single round and had the best time of their life.
That's high praise. That's a high bar.
Now,
right
I'm not
there.
saying every single person doesn't fire a single round. No.
Yeah.
It's just some people actually did not fire a single round and had a blast. Now, there are firefights. Trust me. Stuff happens.
Stuff happens.
Oh, yeah. Very, 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 very
I like
much
how you say stuff, like in quotation.
Stuff happens. Next up, we have Operation Castle, March 27th through the 29th.
Is this the prison one?
It is.
Okay.
This is in the Pacific region in Carson City, Nevada. This is an Operation Lion Claws military simulation
Longest
series event.
name in Airsoft, honestly, I think, at this point. Is there anything longer than that?
I don't think so.
No, I think they hold the title.
Good
job, John.
So they are doing an urban event in a prison in Nevada.
3 factions: prisoner, cartel, guards.
Yep.
Enjoy yourself. Have fun. That's all I'm going to say. Have fun.
That sounds good.
Exactly. So that's it for events.
Is that it? I thought we had more. Oh,
No.
it's wintertime. That's right.
It's wintertime.
It's wintertime. So the only people playing
A
Airsoft are...
lot of event companies have kind of had their last events of the year, and they're kind of planning out. And so, what you have now is people have planted their stake on the calendar, and there are companies out there that are respectful, that are trying to not schedule within the same region, within the same month. They're trying to alternate months. But some of these venues that are at military or government installations,
They got 1 or 2 slots, and that's it.
Literally, they have to go with whatever date they tell them. So, but don't ever forget, support your local field. For example, Black Ops Bristol is hosting Colony Wars next August 2020, and this is what I love about Colony Wars. It's bringing together 4 different event hosts. So you got American Milsim, you've got Overwatch Tactics, you've got Centurion Milsim. Wait, is there 4 or is there 3?
I think it was Centurion, Overwatch, AMS. I don't think Milsim West or Lion Claws were doing it. There was another faction. I know there's 4th. I just can't think of who the 4th one is.
But you got.
I think it might be New World. Or no, not New
can't
World.
remember.
I don't know.
But support your local field.
Yep.
Because if you didn't have
definitely.
your local field, that has a retail shop that's providing great customer service, giving you a place to play, and you're not going there, and all you're doing is just going cross country to these national events, well, guess what? Your local area is going to die in Airsoft.
And then when your local area dies, there's no one to feed players to the big areas.
Yep,
That's how it is.
exactly.
And honestly, here's something I like to always do when I go to a local field. And I've been lucky enough lately to do a lot of local field play. I try to buy something from their pro shop everywhere I go. It doesn't have to be something big, like a bottle of BBs or a barrel blocker, something to help support their business, because that's what keeps them going. If I can hold off a purchase that I might have bought online, buy it on site, get my BBs on site, get my grenades on site, supports the business.
I've been to a lot of events. I went to Bad Blood at EMR Event Park in Pennsylvania.
I'm jelly.
And Jackal Tactical was there. Paul Whitman from Jackal Tactical was selling, and they had he makes a 3D printed tournament lock for HPA air tanks, for compressed air tanks.
Ooh.
And I wanted to buy it, and he's like, "Oh, no, just take it." I'm like, "No, tell me the price." And he told me a price, and then I looked at his clerk, "How much does this cost?" And again, he gave me a discount. I'm like, "Paul, I'm paying this price for you."
So let me give you a little top tip. I learned this with John Zero's guys, because John Zero is one of the most generous human beings
From
I've ever X-Customs. The key is you wait for John to go to lunch, and then you go buy something from one of his guys, and then you sneak away. And don't ever let John see it, because I swear to God, John tries to hand me something every time I try to give him money.
Know, right?
And I'm like, no, let me support your business. I love what you do. Let me support you, man.
And speaking of local, Andy, what is probably the local field that you frequent the most?
Oh, the local field for me. I mean, my regular field is going to be the jail events. Which, while we're doing events, can I just quickly give a shout out to an event?
Yeah. Sure. Promote an event right now. Do the whole thing.
Yeah. So, Airsofting with Friends, we've been talking about it. He's coming to the UK on the 28th of March at the jail events. Tickets are available now from the jail's website. That's jail, GAOL, is the old English spelling. It's sometimes referred to as goal or gal or something like that. It's jail. But yeah, Random Guy Kev's coming over for the weekend to run that. So we'd love to see you guys there. Tickets are on sale now. Get involved before they're all gone.
What's the price point on that, so guys can know?
It's a £15 deposit and £20 on the day. So standard game day fees, basically.
That's about $50 for a day of scenario play. That's pretty standard.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Not bad. Oh, and Doug Smith from the Midwest helped us out. The fourth colony for Colony Wars is Third Coast Airsoft.
I knew it was someone. I just couldn't appreciate it. Doug, thank you for saving our bacon once again.
You get 50 exposure bucks.
Oh, no, 50. That's all you're giving out? 150. I'm generous. I'm generous with those.
It's Christmas.
It is 150.
150. So, Andy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
And just so you guys understand, Andy, what time is it in the UK right now?
It is 2:45-ish.
And do you have work tomorrow?
Morning.
And do you have work tomorrow?
Yeah. Luckily,
well,
4.5 hours, and that's it for the year.
Cool, okay.
So I'm on late this week, so I'm going to be working 11:45 till 4:15.
Okay.
And then I've got to prep all my kit for Saturday's game.
Okay, so you're giving up sleep to hang out with us. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I mean, I appreciate you guys having me on, and I was like, I've got to come on here to get live and get to you guys. So thanks very much. And
got me in the feels.
I'm going to need a moment to get my feels away. I can't. Okay, now I'm ready to talk again. Let's do it.
Yeah. The offer's open for you guys to come over onto the Chairsofter Show at some point. We'll do it all again.
I will definitely take you up on that. I might even take you up on a visit to England, because I have really been, I mean, my partner here knows, I've been talking about airsofting in England for a long time now. I started watching Matt, the Musketeer, when he was still doing videos a couple years ago, and he just did a breadth of sites, and I got to be exposed by how much airsoft is in such a small area, relatively speaking. Yeah. Because to give you a frame of reference, Andy, your entire country fits into my state 10 times over.
Yeah.
So, the fact that I have to drive 2 hours to find an airsoft field sometimes in Colorado, just because everything's so far apart, and I could drive 2 hours from where your house is and drive by 5 of them, very jealous. Yeah. So I will definitely.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing. The guys from Guerrilla Airsoft were saying about driving to one of the events. I think it might have been Lion Claws or whatever it was, the one in New Mexico or something. They were saying how far they had to drive for that on one of their podcasts.
They're talking about Copperhead.
Copperhead.
That's Copperhead.
Sorry, that's the one.
Well, to give you
and Joe Mini is in the chat.
Joe Mini in the chat.
Yeah.
He is.
By the way, sorry, don't mean to interrupt, but if you guys is Gorilla on tonight, or is this one of their
I don't know.
alternate
Joe,
nights?
Joe,
you guys on
post
tonight?
in the chat if you guys are broadcasting now.
If you haven't checked out Gorilla Airsoft, they are the OGs of airsoft podcasting. Longest running. Most guys in one place. Biggest table in airsoft. I think they have the most facial hair in any airsoft podcast because of Jerry's extensive beard. What do you think?
Yeah.
You think they have a speed? No, okay. Check them out. They are a ton of fun. They are just slapdash and awesome, and I love them to death. One of my favorite things to watch. And also, if you guys haven't checked them out, I think they're going on after us. Another serious airsoft podcast. They have the most windows. They're doing the Hollywood Square thing now, where they're like, "I'll take Whoopi for the win."
They are unfiltered. ASOP podcast is unfiltered.
So check them out too.
Don't forget to check out our sponsor, Enola Gay, which is also in the UK. Their headquarters is in the UK.
Would you say that they're more UK than American almost? Or are they equally New World, Old World?
I mean, they've expanded in the U.S., South Africa. I mean, they're
just international at this point.
They're
they're kind of the new British Empire, you'd say.
So be sure to check them out. Check out the Valken Alliance. Again, we were just trying to get folks to get out and play airsoft together at your local field in your local region. One of the big things on the Facebook pages for the Valken Alliance regions is sharing events in your region so other people know about them. That's actually where I hear about a lot of events that I put on the show is they share them to the Valken Alliance regional pages.
I tell you what, I might have to turn my notifications off because people are throwing events up there pretty fast and furious at this point.
Yeah, they are.
Also, review videos are starting to show up there for stuff, maybe some gear stuff. So it's just another place that you can link up with airsofters. Please join as many of those groups as you can, ours, other groups, whatever. Link up, make friends, find more people to airsoft with because that's what it's about.
Heck yeah. Andy, again, thank you very much. Hope you get some rest tonight, buddy. And
did we forget anything?
Next week's show, the day after Christmas.
Can I say it, please?
Yeah,
I
go
love
ahead.
saying it.
Go ahead.
We are gonna get, and I'm a little excited for this. Airsoft Amigos. Two non-Mexican dudes with a Mexican name
Canada.
From Canada. Are they both not Canadian? Because I think Tim's from Hong Kong, right? Or did I get that wrong?
We'll ask him next week.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
So Tim Selby and Matthew Campbell from Airsoft Amigos, they're going to be on the show next Thursday, second day of Christmas, as I would call it. So be sure to tune in. Be sure to check out and subscribe, follow the Chairsofter Show on. Oh yeah, vote!
Oh, crap! Did we forget?
We got to finish the voting on the logo.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andy. So,
oh my gosh,
Andy, as the guest, you get the honor of doing the final countdown. So, if you just prepare while we put the final warning up,
and
you're going to give us our countdown,
like a 10-second, countdown.
10 second.
Yeah. So vote
Ready?
For either Solotron_Airsoft or _frag. Voting is very close right now. Put in your votes because Andy's going to do a countdown for us.
On you, Andy.
And voting closes in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Voting closed.
Who is it?
It is Solotron.
Solotron returning for his second week. That's it. Yeah, we have another returning champion, ladies and gentlemen. That was a close one.
Solotron took it with 58%.
That's a close one.
Votes.
That's one of the more decisive victories we've seen, but it's still within 10 points. I mean, it is. Yeah, I mean that's enough to trigger a recall election, right? Or something like that, like a recount. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
We will have our final loadout battle of 2019. Will actually be in 2020, the first Thursday of January. Which will actually be January 2nd, I believe, with...
That'll be the Hangover show, right?
Carl and Leo Lindell.
Oh, I forgot. Yes. We were having the Battleborn crew themselves.
And I can tell you, the last submission for the 2019 loadout battle will be AJ Morris.
Ooh.
Yes.
Is he doing Batman?
It'll be... No, not AJ Dobson.
Oh,
AJ Morris.
I brain farted, sorry.
He's one of our Valken Alliance guys.
I brain farted, I'm
sorry. In 2 weeks, the final loadout battle is going to be between Solotron and AJ Morris. And whichever one wins is going to get a whole bunch of stuff. Because we got to reach out to Josh McNeil at MC Kydex. He was donating stuff.
Yep.
Turk from Rudiment Arms are going to donate stuff.
All our guests have decided. Most of our guests decided to throw a little prize in there for you. So it's a grab bag of airsoft awesomeness.
Yes.
Oh, I can't say that. That's patented.
That's Evic.
Airsoft greatness. No. Airsoft radness. Yeah, there you go.
Dude,
Bag of
that's
airsoft
like an
radness.
oxymoron, like military intelligence.
I say radness all the time. I say rad.
But you put airsoft in something good.
Oh.
Like in the same.
It's the worst airsoft bag ever. There you go. We'll go
there you go.
Before I forget, guys, real quick, holiday times are coming up. We're about a week away from Christmas and New Year's, right in that area right now?
5 days.
Yeah, we're 5 days away. If you have any friends out there that are spending the holidays alone, please reach out, invite them to your house, or go visit them. But this is
start tearing up.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I just have mostly. I have spent a lot of my holidays away from home due to my previous job, and I just want you guys to reach out. Remember, this is the time to bring everybody together, family, love, all that stuff, and that's what Airsoft's about. Please don't forget that as we go into this wonderful time of the year.
All right, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas, and we will see you next week on the 26th.
Ooh, bye, guys.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
But there's only one guaranteed way you can have peace, and you can have it in the next second. Surrender.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
We will not go quietly into the night. It is your killer instinct which must be harnessed if you expect to survive in combat.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
Remember this day, man, or it will be yours for all time.
What keeps you awake at night?
Nothing. I keep other people awake at night.